just finished working out and I'm tired and it's time to do some mobility. Today, all you will need is this friendly lacrosse ball and also a rubber band that will be doing some of those upper body stretches later. For right now, we will begin here in quadruped position, all fours, and it will be a couple of these cat-cows just to loosen up and get some range of motion through the spine. As you come to the top, tuck the pelvis, tuck the chin, round the back, pull your shoulder blades apart here. We're going to do about 5 more. Next, so staying in this quadruped position, I'm going to rotate underneath with my right arm. Like I want to bring this right shoulder down towards the floor. As soon as I hit a little resistance, I'm going to come up, rotate up towards the ceiling. On either side of this, I want to pay attention to how much am I shifting my weight side to side in order to get up or as low as I can. I want to try to keep my hips centered right here where my knees are. Let's do 5 over here on the other side. There's 5 there. So now, coming down onto the floor, I'm going to put my right arm out here at my side. Left hand is going to be here on the floor. It's going to push and help support me a little bit as I rotate over. Left foot comes to the floor here. And you can just rest your head down here if you get any tension in the neck. But otherwise, we're going to be here for about 30 seconds. If you're getting any stretching here, it should probably be in the pec, maybe the anterior deltoid, maybe a little bit of the bicep. Lots of breathing, breathe into your tension, big inhales, and then as you exhale, try to go a little bit further. About 15 more seconds. All right, back to the center. I'm going to turn around, other side. So now left arm goes across. Right arm supports, right leg over the left, and here we go, 30 seconds. Relax the head if you need to. This is my more restricted site. In fact, I'm getting a little cramp here in my oblique. About 15 more seconds. Okay, back to the center, back to the top. And now again, the same rotation we did before with the arm. What we're going to do this time is go hand behind head and shorten the lever on the top side. And this time I want to try to bring this elbow down towards this knee. And then same thing, rotate elbow up towards the ceiling. As I go up, I'm going to follow with my eyes at the top. 2 more on this side. I'm also trying to keep my top arm here as straight as possible, switching sides. Elbow to knee, or as close as I can go. Two more. All right, continuing, try to open up these hips and T-spine. Arms again are out of the side. I'm going to lead with my left toe across into this scorpion stretch. I'm going to do 10 on one side, and then I'll flip over and do 10 on the other. Five more on this side. Switching it over, I'm gonna need to turn around. All right. Now again, right leg's coming over. We got about 5 more. Two more. All right. So, now moving on to a little bit with the ball. We're going to go into the glutes. We're going to spend about 60 seconds on each side. Starting first with bent knees, searching the outside of the hip and the glute. This leg can be straight. You could be down on your elbow with the bent knee or with the straight leg. And then also, what we want to do is cross this right leg over the left. Try to keep your knees as close to your chest as you can. We got about 30 more seconds here on this side. About 15 seconds left on this glute. Not too bad here for me. Let's switch it over. Oh yeah, much worse on this side. Not much worse, but significantly different. About 30 more seconds. What do you guys think? Should I try to add some music to these? Drop a comment below. And subscribe and like. Don't forget that. Definitely subscribe and like. All right. Moving on from the lacrosse ball, stretching the glutes. We're going to go for that starlet-ish capsule stretch. What we're going to do with that is start again at all fours. What I like to do with this one, I get this leg positioned straight back. I externally rotate this hip by bringing this foot in as, pretty much as far as I can. Then I sweep this leg around, sit back a little bit, see what I'm working with as I rotate into it. Then you get on your elbows. Then after that, you snake this arm through, rotate down. I wanted to bring this shoulder to the floor. And now we're going to be here for about another 30 seconds from now. All right. Slowly come back up. Switching sides, treat it in parts again. So leg comes back, externally rotate the right hip, left leg comes across a little bit, and then we work it in, see where we're at. Get on the elbows, and then you can stay up here. This is a big stretch, you stay here. Otherwise, we're on the elbows, left arm rotates through, and then again, trying to get towards the floor, relaxing and breathing. 30 more seconds from here. $15. All right, slowly coming back up. Gonna get into a quick hip flexor, quad biased lizard or couch-ish stretch. So start by getting both hands down to the floor. I want to go same side here, or opposite arm to hand, foot. Same side, hand on the floor, whatever. Remember, all these stretches or poses or yoga poses, and they have names, or maybe you watch Ramwad and everything has a name, whether based off of animals or objects or whatever it is. Remember that you are a system of levers, right? So I could have bent knees here, shortened levers, straight leg, longer lever. You can increase that to combine levers, whether you use your torso to your knee or wherever towards the floor. But remember, they're just positions. And then ultimately for you, positionally, you'll find out where your stiff bits are. I'm gonna slowly release this foot down to the floor. I'm gonna turn around and switch sides. So hands first start at the floor. I'm gonna go for that foot grab. Remember, if you can't grab the foot, it's no big deal. If you could prop something up behind your foot or put it on the floor, on the wall, go ahead and do that. Or just stay in that standard hip flexor lizard position. We got about 30 more seconds left on this side. Pull up on that foot if you want a little bit. Make sure you're squeezing your butt, tucking your pelvis. About 10 seconds. All right, slowly lowering it down. All right, we're gonna grab that ball again. And what we're gonna go after is parts of your lower back. So, if this was my spine, right down the middle, spine, bottom of the rib cage, top of your glutes, top of the pelvis, and then that in-between area where we don't have any, let's say, bony structure, it's muscle. This is the area we're going after, right? So not too high in the ribs, not too low in the butt, and definitely not over the spine. We're gonna be either on one side or the other. What I'm gonna do is take this lacrosse ball, fix my ugly hat, ball goes into lower back. Right? Sometimes you gotta move your shirt around a little bit to kind of maneuver around the ball so it doesn't get grabbed up too much. Now, what I'm gonna do is just scrub. I'm gonna wiggle my hips side to side a little bit. I'm flattening my back and tucking my pelvis so my back presses into the ball a little bit more. I can straighten my leg. I can think about rotating through. And again, I'm searching around. Think of this ball as, again, if you were lying on a massage table and someone was just taking their thumbs and working through those tissues in your lower back. That's all that you're trying to do. We're going to be exploring this side for about another 30 seconds. You can also cross a leg over like this. You can pull that knee back towards your chest as you look around. You could also, technically, get up on a wall like this, put the ball in there, and now with that backwards pressure like this, you can really get some good work and some good digging around in there. All things being considered, with that, I'm going to stay with this wall version as I switch over into my left side. So same idea, whether you're on the floor or up here on the wall. I'm scrubbing, you're scrubbing, we're shifting our weight around. Look around that lower back. You know, you take the hand, maneuver the ball into some different places. Remember, we're not going after anything bony. We're trying to make sure we feel, all right, is this muscle? This feels like muscle. It's not nervy. It's not hard, bony. And that's where we stay. About 15 more seconds on this side, and then we'll move it on. Remember to make some maneuvers. Don't hang out in one spot too long. And not that that's bad. That's just not what we're doing right now. All right, coming up. So now we're going to take that again back to that cat-camel, cat-cow. I don't know what it's called. But again, like I mentioned earlier, we're trying to articulate this spine, get some range of motion going through the entire cervical, thoracic, lumbar. Right? Big tuck in here, around that back, tuck that pelvis, and extend and look up here at the top. From here, I'm going to go into a cobra, same idea, looking for more of that back flexibility. Dropping my hips down, squeezing my butt, I'm staring at the ceiling. Big breath in. Keep pushing up. Looking to my left, back to the center, looking to my right, back to the center, big inhale, look up. And now I'm going to rock it back to child's pose. Extend the arms, try to get that stretch in the lats, maybe down to your lower back. Back to the center into another cobra. So again, squeeze your butt, sink the hips, look up in the air. Don't pick your hands up like you don't care, no, because you'll be on your face. Squeeze your butt. Turn to your left. Breathe in. Back to the center, look up. Breathe in. Back to the center, look to your right, breathe in. Back to the center, back to the child's pose, reach back with those hips. All right, back to the ball. This time, back of the shoulder. So think, you have your triceps. You have these lats, this rotator cuff thing happening back here. You have deltoid cover and all that fun stuff. So we're not going after, say, just one muscle. You're going over this back of the shoulder, this highly large junction area where there's lots of tissues crossing over the top of one another and working with or against one another. And what we're going to try and do is just get a little mobilization back there in the back of that shoulder. So this is where I got the ball. It may travel down or back or across a little bit as I maneuver around, looking for where I have the stiffness. And then as I start maneuvering around, I'm using my legs and my hand and my arm here to, take whatever pressure I need to get off as I start to move around on this ball. And as I find a spot, and this looks like a pretty good spot for me right here. Now, if you get any tension in the neck, support the head with the fist like this so you can rest your head. But outside of that, then I'm thinking about keeping my weight over the top of the shoulder. I'm not trying to be like this, right? I'm still trying to pull this shoulder down relatively as best as I can. And then from there, now it's range of motion, right? We're gonna be on this side for a minute. I rotate my thumb down this way. I rotate my thumb down that way. Flat palm, flat back of hand, straight arm here. It's just movement. You're not gonna do anything wrong necessarily, as long as you follow some of those simple rules, right? So this discomfort you feel should be where the ball is. If I feel this in my thumb or down my leg for some reason, I need to move over somewhere else again where it just feels like I'm getting, this is our poor man's deep tissue muscle massage. I got about 30 seconds left on this side. Switching it over. Same thing, we're right behind that shoulder there. And then looking for what's not good for me. And right here, it's not good for me. 1 minute's worth. Remember, straighten the arm. This is another one of those long levers, right? Long lever, rotating from my shoulder. Short lever, rotating from my shoulder. Moving multi-directionally, right, from my shoulder. Keep it moving. Ooh. Now 15 more seconds. Our videos usually run 25, 30 minutes. If you think you'd be interested in some shorter content, some shorter mobility content, like 10-minute little blasts on particular muscle groups or issues, please drop a comment below. and subscribe, right? Okay, moving on. Now, we're making an actual move. Be right back. Now for the band. So, we're gonna go with this higher anchor point. Gonna go after the lats first. Gonna do my right side, so right knee, same side is going down. Gonna go into a relatively long, splits-ish type position. This knee should be over the ankle and not, too crouched forward. So if I'm here, I'm running into this leg and not really focusing on the flexibility that's on this side. So again, make sure you're long enough. Make sure this leg is back and not kinked up here. Squeeze your butt. And now from here, your hand can be at the floor for support, and then you are rotating in one side or the other, depending on where you feel like you need it a little bit more. Tuck that pelvis, squeeze your abs so you don't feel like you're just hanging down here, right? Keep that muscle activity going. We're gonna be here for about another 45 seconds on this side, and then we'll switch it over and do a minute on the other. For now, just wherever you feel the tension, breathe into that, and on the exhale, try to sink deeper into it. About 20 more seconds. Slowly now, let's get it back up to the top. For me especially, with this right side, it's not even so much my lat, like right in here, I'm really stiff. So every time I come out of that, it feels like, it just never wants to come back to where it needs to be. So I know I need to move a little bit slower when I come out of that side. So now, moving into the left side, same story, nice and long with my legs. Keep this palm rotated up. Hand can be on the floor for support, it could be here at the knee. Our leg rotating this way, but don't forget to also check in over here on this side as well. Same thing, probably about 40 more seconds on this side, and then up to the chest. "15 seconds. Slowly pull that knee in, maybe. Start to stand back up to the top. And now we're going to go after the chest. I'm going to go back to my right arm again. So again, we are looped in here around the wrist. Grab the band, palm stays up. We're going to go same leg, wrapped around to the front. And now here, always check in with that rib cage. Make sure you're not arched up like this. Rotate around this way. So 1 minute here on this side. About 30 more seconds. "15. Slowly come on back. Unwind yourself to now wind back up again. So around the wrist, grab the band, palm up, same leg around. Get on tension, make sure the rib cage stays down. Breathe into the tension. Exhale, try to move past it. Another 30 seconds. Fifteen more. All right, coming back to the center. And that is a wrap for today. Remember, like I asked earlier, if you're interested in some shorter content, 10, 15 minute little blast of mobility, maybe on something very specific or a particular movement, please comment below. If you want me to add music to these videos, at least, in between me jammering on about things, or maybe I talk less, please drop that comment below. If you love this, subscribe, like. Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, I drop these videos, and see you on Thursday.